Ada, welcome back to my channel. I am in a different filming location today. As you can see, I am at a little store called Bowerbird Collections. It is in Brisbane in the suburb of Paddington, and I'm about to take you in and show you the store because it is absolutely amazing. They do uniquely handmade ceramic vases with beautiful lampshades, different materials. You can pick your own material. They do ceramic jewellery. They even do some portraiture work. But as you'll see for yourself, it's just in that little door over there. And I'm going to introduce you to the owners, Peter and Ali, who have a real passion for their craft. So come with me. Hi Ali, thank you for having me in your beautiful shop this morning, and thanks for the coffee in the lovely mug that you've done this design. Yeah. So this is Ali, everyone. We're waiting for her mum Peter, who is serving customers, which is what you always want. You want to be busy. So Ali and Peter are a mother and daughter team that own Bowerbird Collections. So I just thought we'd talk a bit about your business today so I can get more of an idea, and so can my subscribers. So let's just start with the history of your love, because when I walked in the other day, it was obvious that there's a real passion for handmade, unique, beautiful pieces. So where did that come from your perspective? And we'll ask your mum later because I'm sure she's probably going to have a different answer.
Yeah, well, I think it's mainly because of mum.
Yes.
As a child, whenever I had friends over, she'd always bring out the paints, like creating. The creativity was just nurtured in me.
You've obviously got that gene that's been passed down as well, because you are good at doing portraitures, I've noticed.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I feel like everybody has something that they're just innately good at, whether it's communicating, whether it's maths, whether it's science. For me,
true.
It's art. Like I've always had a really good eye for colour, and don't get me wrong, it's taken a long time for me to develop the skills, but it's always been something that I've been drawn to.
And you were saying the other day when I came over that at school you did art.
I did.
And the teacher said, oh, what are you going to do as a job? And you said, I'm going to work in an art field. And she said, no, what's your real job?
Yes.
And little did she know, you're now working and doing your passion, really.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to not push down their passion for status or for money or for a career or to feel safe, because then
you won't be happy. So you're happy doing this. It's natural for you to want to create these beautiful pieces. So if we move forward from when you were a teenager or a child, when did your mother and yourself start to get into this business, and what's the story behind that?
I was at uni. I did a Bachelor of Arts at QCA, and at that time mum was making the ceramics, so her ceramic story has been since I was born. I think she got her first kiln when I was 2 or 3.
And are they sorry for interrupting, but the tiles on the front counter?
She started with tiles.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so she started with tiles, and she was very much ahead of the game.
Did she say when you were younger, don't break my tiles if she made them?
No, she was I was very much involved. You know, even as a little girl, I would have the offcuts of clay, and I would make these teeny, tiny little sculptures of.
Oh, you would have loved it.
Yeah, foxes and dolphins and things, and she would have had to like glaze them for me and fire them and hope that these tiny little
Things would stay to pieces.
Yeah, we have like boxes of my little ceramic numbers. But yeah, so she started her ceramic journey with like her love of Moroccan tiles and that aesthetic, but at that time, that everybody wanted glass splashbacks. Like Moroccan tile was not in.
Yes.
So
what year would this have been?
So I was born in 91, so I don't know, it might have been like 95.
Right.
When she started the tile, and then maybe like another, I don't know, around 2000 maybe, when she actually had tiles to show. Yep. Yeah, so everybody wanted glass splashbacks. Nothing happened from the tiles. So then there was kind of like more iterations, and she did vases, and then from the vases she went to lamps, and then when I was at uni she had these beautiful lamps, but nobody knew where she was. She was in like a kind of, you know, dingy shed. It was dirty, it was hot, it was not glamorous, nothing like our shop now. And it was in the back streets of Newmarket. Nobody knew.
So there's a real story, which is what I love. There's a real story, history really behind your little boutique. From the start to now, like I'm now 28, and so, you know, there was, I don't know how many years before she actually got the kiln, but let's say 25 years of glaze and ceramic exploration before where we are now. And now you're getting quite a name for yourself, I believe, in the area. Oh yeah, but very much in the area, not so much, you know, elsewhere in Australia, and certainly not overseas, but hopefully. I mean, an interesting story, actually. Lovely story. So where did the name Bowerbird Collections come from? So when we were living at Ormiston, we had a bowerbird in our backyard. And are they male? The male, yeah. And they like to get pretty things. They do. They construct a bower. That's right. Yep. Bowerbird, and then they decorate it with beautiful things that they colourful find. Things, shiny things. Yeah. So often it's blue. They'll get, you know, blue bottle caps and pegs and just bits of plastic, and they'll just like decorate their bower to attract the female, isn't it? Yes. So the lady will be like, "Oh, we've got a very pretty house. I will come and be with you." Yes. So yeah, I guess that's what the shop is. It's just a collection of the things that we love. And it is, when I walked in a couple of weeks ago, it's like, oh, where do I start? So I walked around, then walked again. So even when you go back the next time, you'll spot something that you haven't spotted, and that's what I love. It's like being for a child, like being in a lolly shop, and to me it's like, it's just, everything's all pretty. It's a bit like Aladdin's cave. It's stock taking is not easy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the products too, mainly from my perspective, because I want one of these beautiful lamps. What's the process? So as you can see here on film, you have all individual ones out there. You have the material. So do people bring along their lamps, or do you have to buy those? So just say I wanted a lamp. Do I bring my existing boring ones and you change those, or do I have to buy the whole lot from you? Lots of different options. So we recover shades. Right. We make new shades. Right. Like if you have a lamp but the shade is broken, you can bring the lamp base in and we will make a shade to fit. Otherwise, we have bases, we have shades. You can just buy the full piece here. Which is really good. And what about your materials? Just quickly, where do you get a lot of your materials from? So, for instance, this design was originally from Peter's watercolour, which then I turned into a fabric repeat, sent it off to our printers in Melbourne. They printed this cotton sateen fabric for us, and then we make the shades. So really you're doing just about everything that you can possibly do. So you're really getting a unique piece. Like that's what I love about it, that, you know, not everyone's going to have that same sort of piece. And it's, oh yeah, exactly. Like our designs, like
only we have them.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're now getting into more the fashion arena, or you're extending that. But you've been doing earrings for a while, like ceramic earrings.
Yeah.
And I love how it's got your little bowerbird there.
Yeah.
So people, will know where they're from. So these are ceramic, like done in a kiln as well?
Yeah, exactly the same as the lamps, just
right.
on
Okay.
a much smaller scale.
And also you do like ceramic pieces?
Yeah, so the lamps are ceramic, we've also got little trinkets like this, we've got planters. Yeah,
So if someone came in and said, like just say you make this piece up obviously, and they go, oh, I love pink and red, you then can put your design on it, is that right? Or they can order it, or how does that work?
So there are particular, we have a whole range of glaze colours, so if you want it all over, we've got like we call it pink, but it's kind of like a reddy pink.
Yeah.
We've got a whole range of blues and greens. This particular one, because it's got brush strokes on it, not all of it's like some of our glazes is multiple layers.
Right. Okay.
So this one in particular is just one glaze that makes the blue colour. So we can do, stripes and things with the blue.
But people can adjust them if they find, obviously, they want something different. You don't just have to have that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And also I noticed you've got cushions. I am sort of a cushion addict. I tend to buy all these cushions because I get bored and then I store them away and then I bring them back. So cushions to me, when I saw those, I went, yes, cushions. And what about your, just talk quickly about your portraiture work. Where does that come from? Like, obviously, you just love doing all sorts of art.
Yeah, I generally do portraiture. That's most of my painting work. People will come in with a photo of their child or their wedding. Or
a dog.
Yes, I've done some dogs and horses.
I saw the horse out there.
Yes, that's my boy. So people will bring the photo and then I will
Create it.
paint that, and then when I have time in between, I will paint things for the shop, so big florals or landscapes.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the expansion of your business into more clothes and shoes and handbags. So you're going to have a new collection coming out in summer. So we are, what are we now? We're June.
Yep.
So in summer you're going to release a lot more fashion pieces, which is exciting.
Yep.
I'm excited to see that because my love is fashion. I'm a fashion stylist, so that will be exciting. And your pieces, because Brisbane, for people that don't know, that are watching, Brisbane does not get a lot of winter. Do we? We don't. And when we get a winter's day, it's like, yes! So a lot of the pieces are trans-seasonal, aren't they? So you can layer them up, and they're actually designed by your mum, Peter, and sewn in Brisbane, which I think is really good because it's all local. And so do you want to talk a little bit about the clothes?
Yeah, so it all started with Peter. She's sewn forever.
She taught you to sew, you were saying the other day too.
She taught me, yeah. She was teaching me. It was a big synchronicity. She happened to be teaching me. We were both wearing clothes that we'd sewn that weekend. Ran into a friend who was in the rag trade, and she was like, "You should sell those clothes." And that just kind of
took the idea and you ran with it.
Yeah, and has just been amazing, Justine. She taught us everything and just paved that road.
I love the skirt your mum's got on. That's one of her pieces.
Fringe skirt,
yeah, I love it. It's really nice.
Yes, it's got that really kind of snuggly.
And what about this big special event that's coming up in October? So you're having a release of your summer range, and it's going to be a champagne? Is it night or daytime?
Afternoon.
Afternoon. So it'll be a release of the whole summer range.
Yes,
so
our whole summer range.
Come and have a look.
Yeah, like our winter ranges are generally pretty small because winter in Brisbane is not a big deal, but our summer is where we put most of our creative efforts. There's some fab new patterns because a lot of the patterns in the clothes are from our artwork. So same thing that we've done.
Well, I was saying to you a couple of weeks ago when we spoke that a lot of the time the on trend or whatever colours are in will go in from the homewares to the clothes you wear. So there is a connection.
Yeah.
With that, which I think is quite exciting too, because I think when you come into the store, you can actually look at the clothes and look at all the earrings and the whole story.
Yes, it's all kind of. It's our bower.
Okay, well, I think we'll leave it there. We'll try and see if we can talk to your mum.
Yeah.
She's so busy, which is good. So we now have the lovely Peter here because she has been busy in the shop. That's how busy and that's how beautiful all the items are. I really want to buy a couple of pieces myself. So welcome to my channel, Peter. And I just want to ask you a few questions like I did with Ali. So tell me about the history of your love for art and where the shop, sort of your dream. Just a few words to tell everyone.
Well, I guess I've always been the sort of person that likes to make things.
Very creative.
Yeah, I've always been that way. So I started sewing when I was 5. My parents were very much creative, so it was just natural.
Gene that's passed down, which has now been passed down to Ali as well.
But then I feel like we're taking it to another level. We've really, you know, the combination of Ellie and me together gives us that, you know, we can just refine it to another level.
It's obvious when you walk in that you have a love and passion for both of you, and I really do like your tile wall at the counter. I really love that. I think that's really special.
Well, that's really a history of my glaze making. So.
Yes, Ali was mentioning that. So you then decided, because she was saying you were in a shed at one stage.
Oh, yeah, I was 8 years in the shed.
Yeah, so you just talk about a little bit when you decided to go a bit more commercial, or, you know, try and sell.
Well, nobody knew we existed. We were down in the back blocks, and someone said, you should have a shop. And I thought, yeah, I should have a shop. And then I had a dream. I started looking, and the first shop that we had came up, and it just all sort of flowed from there. I like, if you'd said to me 10 years ago, in 10 years' time you'll have this gorgeous shop and it'll be da-da-da-da, I would have not believed you.
So you've come a long way, and it's been hard work, even though it's a passion. It's probably been hard work as well.
It has, and it's been little bit by little bit by little bit. It didn't all just happen like that.
Yes, and the other thing I wanted to ask you was, you're going into more the fashion arena, or you're extending your fashion range, because you even talked about handbags and shoes.
Yes.
So you have a love for making clothes as well, so just talk a little bit about that.
So did Ellie say anything to you about the dreams? Because we both had dreams to say that we should do clothing. And
yeah.
You did?
Yeah, well, she talked about it the other day. She was telling me the other day, so you were dreaming.
No.
And she said that you'd made something that weekend, and people were coming and saying, you should make that.
Yeah. And that friend who's in the rag trade, she taught me everything. So, I mean, I had no idea this is where we'd go.
Well, I think mentoring too is a very, it's a good thing to have a mentor and learn from, because no matter whatever age you are, you can still learn from people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just touching on too, because I know you have to go because you're busy, more people coming into the shop. We're just talking about how the clothes were trans-seasonal and how you're going to have this big showing in October, which is exciting. I can't wait for that.
Yes.
So you're looking forward to that, and I can't believe that you actually design and have all the clothes made in Brisbane, which is quite unique as well.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful to celebrate that there are plenty of people here in Brisbane that can do beautiful things.
I agree. I just agree.
And you know, real artisans. And I think where we can fill a different corner of the market is that we've got Ellie's beautiful artwork that we can then put onto the fabric for the clothes.
Which is what this one is as well.
One was from my artwork.
Yeah, no, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Well, I, for one, am looking forward to that event, and I can't wait to see the range. It's a bit of a secret until then. Yeah. But thank you very much for letting me come to the store today. Very happy with that. So don't forget, everyone, Ada Loves Style. See you again next time. If you like this video, please subscribe, push like, and follow me on Instagram. And don't forget, everyone, Ada Loves Style. See you again next time. Bye.